Good morning, early explorers. Today's Friday, and I thought maybe we could sing our Days of the Week song. All right, you ready to sing it with me? There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days a week. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right, so yesterday was Thursday. So what's today? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Good job. Yep. Today is Friday, so we've made it through a whole nother week. Can you believe it? Well, we've been talking about fairy tales this week, but I have a different book for you. It's not a fairy tale, it's actually a nursery rhyme. And in this book, it talks a lot about the poems. There's several different poems that we did when we would have circle time at school. Baby Echo would sometimes bring us different poems. So when I read you the book, I want you to see if you can figure out what poem that they are talking about, if you can remember from way back when we were doing our poems on the carpet with Baby Echo. Okay? So this is our book. It's called When the Wind Blew, and it's by Allison Jackson. All right. Rock-a-bye baby in the treetop. When the wind blew, the cradle did rock. When it blew harder, the cradle took flight and settled atop an old shoe laced up tight. The woman and children who lived in the shoe were nestled inside, but they knew what to do. They rescued the infant before he could fall, intent on returning him, cradle and all. Do you remember that poem? I can't remember if we actually did Rockabye Baby at school with Baby Echo or not, but that's one of the poems, Rockabye Baby. The group spied a tree with a lone broken bough. Its branches were covered in wool mittens now. "Oh dear," sighed the woman, "the wind is too strong. We must take these mittens back where they belong." Did you see those mittens? Now think back to our poem. There was an animal that lost 3 mittens. Do you remember what animal that was in our poem that lost 3 mittens? She gathered her children and trekked to the spot where 3 sobbing kittens sat, shamed and distraught. They'd barely arrived when a powerful gale rushed over their heads, leaving Jack and Jill's pale. Yeah, so the 3 kittens were the ones that lost their mittens. And now Jack and Jill fell down the hill because they were going up the hill to get some water, right? They took their pail. Now, what was the other word for pail? That was kind of a funny word, pail. But what other word does that mean? Yeah, bucket, right? The family then trudged to a sloping green hill where they hauled the pail over to poor Jack and Jill. But when they approached the unfortunate pair, a small woolly lamb tumbled out of the air. Now, in our poems, there was a little girl. Do you remember what her name was? She had a lamb. What was that little girl's name who had a lamb? As Mary lamented the loss of her pet, the woman declared, "I'm not finished yet." Yeah, it was Mary who had the little lamb. She hurriedly led the lost animal back when along came a candlestick owned by young Jack. See the candlestick? He'll need this for jumping, the old woman said. So she guided her family to Jack's house instead. The woman and children were entering town when a torrent of money began raining down. You see all the coins falling? The coins had been swept from the king's counting room, and the woman surmised he'd be missing them soon. The group made their way to the house of the king, where they spotted a staff which had just taken wing. Yeah, that was the staff. Do you remember in our poem, did anybody have a staff? Oh, let's see. The staff had been stolen from Little Bo Peep. She tried to retrieve it and lost all her sheep. With one sudden gust, the staff hurtled away as a horn spiraled up from a large pile of hay. Did you see that horn? Yeah, we did a poem that a little boy, had a horn, but he was falling asleep by the hay. Do you remember what his name was? The instrument's owner was Little Boy Blue, but the woman now longed for her comfortable shoe. Without any warning, the wind seized her clan, and the storm led them back where this story began. You see that one? That's Little Boy Blue. The treetop they flew and were grateful to see that the cradle now rocked in its place in the tree. The baby was sleeping in blankets wrapped tight, for the wind had now shifted and set all things right. That crazy wind stopped blowing, and so everything was able to go back to its rightful place. The kitten's soiled mittens were laundered and dried. The pail now returned, Mary's lamb by her side. The staff, horn, and candlestick all were restored, and the king had resumed adding coins to his hoard. The woman and children returned to their shoe, but discovered that they'd learned a lesson or two. From kitten to king, they examined the cost of constantly grasping for things that are lost. Though the wind never raced with such fury again, the old woman thought of that day now and then, and by keeping her most prized possessions in view, she was always reminded of when the wind blew. What did you think of our story? Were you able to remember all of the poems that we learned on our carpet with Baby Echo? There were quite a few of them. Maybe you could write down or have someone in your family help you write down all the poems that you remember. There was Mary Had a Little Lamb, and Jack and Jill, and the Three Little Kittens, and Little Boy Blue. And I think there is some more. So if you want, see if you can remember all of those poems. And then maybe even someone in your family could help you write out the whole poem. And you could maybe look for some sight words in the poem. Some of our sight words were the, a, and, what other one did we do? I think we did that. Yeah. So you could maybe look for some of those sight words, and maybe you could even do some rhyming words. There's lots of words in our poems that rhymed. Could you think of as many words that rhymed with kitten that you can? There's lots of words that rhyme with kitten. See if you can see if you can come up with at least 3. Could you come up with at least 3 words that rhyme with kitten? What about 3 words that rhyme with Jill? And 3 words that rhyme with Jack? And 3 words that rhyme with lamb? Can you do all of those? That's awesome. Well, I miss seeing all of your faces and all your smiles. I hope you guys are having a great day, and hopefully we'll get to see each other soon. All right, bye.